Hey, welcome to another Mad Chats and Recaps with just Steph this week. Unfortunately, due to some scheduling issues, Tasha will, fingers crossed, be able to join me for next week. The scheduling issues were on my part this time, so sincerest apologies. I am not edging Tasha out. I want her here, but just things happen. So glad to have you here, though. These are for recaps for the week of April the 10th through April the 16th of 2023. And we will start with Tuesday's All New Sundered Fate. Having arrived in Sunhaven, our friends find a place to rest at Bee's Knees and Toiletries before heading out for some drinks to relax after a long journey. Getting a good night's rest after that, they decide to scope out Cutter's Parade, the attraction on the lake where the surface is covered by dozens and dozens of interconnected sailboats with musicals, talent, and gambling. With Dia's quick thinking and use of suggestion, they secure entry for later that night. Once they return in the evening, they discover there are magically inverted ships just below the surface, hidden from surface viewers. These ships are indeed underwater, though. So Leadrin casts underwater breathing. Casts underwater breathing on everyone. They needed to navigate through several other ships to reach the inverted Miss Edge ship that was run by the person Tuna was looking for, Mustov. Along the way, they searched for a way to reach the lake bed and find the treasure chest they were sent to recover. They passed through ships and saw some of the dark horrors the elite wealthy partake in, as well as those seeking fortune with nothing to lose. Rituals of death being performed, then reincarnation, just so these wealthy few could experience the ride and return in a new form. In another ship, people assessing their fellow players' wealth and social standing to select the person whom they wanted to exchange their soul into to take over their lives. Another ship had full plate metal, requiring a minute to remove, superheated by spell work. A test of endurance that few passed, but incredible wealth to the victors. They passed other dark scenes on their way to the Mist's Edge. Once arriving, they had to gamble for entry, and for Tuna, who showed an interest in fighting, she'd be allowed to choose her own opponent. The stakes, a stranger's well-being. With a rather quick victory, they saved the person, gained entry, and now await the fight, as Tuna chooses Mustov as their opponent. In the stands, healing the wounds the stranger suffered, they introduce themselves to Cyrodiil Ellervere. And that was what happened last week. A lot, right? So much happened. I unfortunately missed last week's episode, but wow. All of these crazy things that are happening on these other ships that they saw, that they witnessed, and now are not really partaking in, but it seems are taking part in. Yeah, I'm so glad they were able to save this stranger, whose life was on the line with the fighting. And now we'll see what happens as Tuna chose Mostov. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. If not, I'm so sorry. As their opponent. So we'll see how that fight goes. That seems to be tonight or in this week's installment of Sundered Fate. So super excited to see how that turns out. Super excited to see how that interaction turns out, right? So hopefully everything goes okay for adventurers. And for Tuna, yeah, it sounds like it might be one-on-one, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, so excited. Again, if you haven't caught Sundered Fate, still in the beginnings of the campaign. I believe this was episode 17. So this week will be episode 18. Still so early. You could easily catch up and catch on all this action. I need to watch some of the older episodes I've missed. So there you go. Perfect chance to. All right. So now that we're out of Sundered Fate, we'll go into Extremis, which didn't happen this past week due to some birthdays with our DM, etc. So, but we're hoping to be back this week. So, an Extremis should be back on this Saturday. So we should have a new recap for next week. But just to give you an update, or not an update, but a reminder of what happened in the last episode of In Extremis. Our heroes relaxed in the tavern after sorting out plans on how to tackle things next. Xia and Ashavar head to the ship in hopes of confronting Ash about her Order of Spectres tattoo. Ash tells the sad, compelling story of how that happened, and Ashavar and Xia accept her history with the Spectres and aim to support her and keep her safe. After returning to Macaw, Ashavar gives the Everbloom to the nightmare creature, which initially seems to die, but then a humanoid creature breaks free from its corpse. Exciting. I'm super excited to see what this humanoid creature is that broke from the nightmare creature corpse. That's super interesting. And also, yeah, with this whole history of Ash and the Order of Spectres tattoo, it'll be super compelling to find out. Because the crew knew about a mole on the ship, right? But is this the mole? Was Ash the mole that we were looking for? And it's just kind of, we have an explanation now? Or is there someone else? Think about it. But yeah, super excited to get back into an Extremis, hopefully this week. Everything goes okay. And yeah, as far as that's all the recaps we have. We're down to 2 shows right now, but more to come. As far as announcements, we have our merch store, so check out our website at madbirdstreams.com. If you're not part of our Discord, you should be. Why aren't you? We have a fun Minecraft server that people are having a ton of fun playing in. Streaming sometimes. We hop in the voice chat sometimes if we're playing on the Discord channel. So get in there and you can request access once you're part of the Discord, and it's a super fun time. If you enjoy Minecraft. Yeah, check that out. We also have a new campaign that'll be starting here next couple of months. One new campaign on Friday nights. And Provenance. And then also we have season 2 of the Penumbra Assembly that should be coming back sometime this summer of 2023. So yay. I'm currently writing that, so I'm super excited to present it to everyone. Other than that, I don't think we have any birthdays this week. If we do, and I've missed something, because I don't have Tasha here with all of the deets about birthdays, because she's super good at that. If I'm missing someone, happy birthday. I hope it's a wonderful time for you. We celebrated Tasha's and Dan's birthday last week with a fun celebration. So, yeah. All right, friends. That's all I got for you. I'll see you in Discord. I'll see you in the Twitch chat. I'll see you next time. Hopefully with Tasha. All right. Bye.
Hello, viewers. Thank you for your patience with me. That was 100% me with some audio funkiness
It
and
happens.
some other such stuff. Yeah. Yep. But here we are now. Exciting.
Yay!
Back after a couple weeks off. Birthday bash and Easter and such. But we are here and we mean business. Business. Okay. Let's
Mm-hmm.
see. Oh, thank you. Sorry, Sarah, I missed that message entirely. Thank you, Steph, for sending the link.
Mm-hmm.
I just jumped over to Discord. All right, here we go. So you watched the recap. You have a good idea of where we are here in Extremis. Um, so running a little late, I think I'll jump us right in. Here's a little bit of an opening scene. Settle us in. Inside the estate, the air is light with the comforting warmth of early October. Fresh scents of crisp mountain air and the forest below gently flow through from open window to open window. Standing around the dais, most of you watch the sand display host a magnificent thunderstorm arcing with purple lightning. You can almost feel the cool mist of rain and dry electricity from each snap of lightning. Ominous. But what's another dark omen to you all at this point? As Vic's tummy growls like an owlbear, you're all reminded of how hungry you are and set off to go to your rooms and instruct Ghost to choose one for herself. And so everyone collectively piles into the elevator and heads upstairs to do just that. Everyone except Ashavar. The Everbloom is practically burning a hole in your pocket, begging to be united with the fantastic creature below on the island. You've worked very hard to get this, and your eagerness to deliver it now that you're so close is second to no other desire right now. And so you head to the darkened corner forest below and find the nightmare creature. It slowly approaches as you call it out from the safety of the dense woods. You can feel the air change. Perhaps just the rain that looks ready to fall from the clouds above, or maybe the presence of this utterly unique creature before you. It called for help. You've delivered. You set the Everbloom down on the ground and back away. The creature rapidly steps forward, pausing briefly before consuming the Everbloom. Its muscles contort seemingly involuntarily, and the creature seems in twisting, screaming, and bending in unnatural ways until it drops to the ground, perfectly still and deathly silent. And with near perfect timing, the rain begins, splashing on the body before moving. Still, you wait. The creature called for this. There must be more. This can't be the end. Did it only seek a permanent death? An escape from its vicious cycle of dying and rebirth? Something presses on the skin of the creature, something from within. Slowly, it tears through, revealing a hand, two arms, and more each second, until a humanoid unlike any you've seen before stands before you. They look into your eyes, and from the depths of their being, they thank you. I think we'll kind of pick it up there. Let me jump to our battle layout real quick so I can just bring this image up again. But I think you all have
Right.
it in there in case you wanted to scroll back up. I think the last image I shared is indeed this creature. Here we go. Thank you, Battle Map, for already having that up. All right, names are a little off, but let me fix that real quick so we can carry on. All right, Sadie's correct. Yes, Ashavar. I'm going to start, I think, with Ashavar. Randy Sun. I'm just going to fix these so I can give you my unbroken attention. That's just okay. It was just all right. Ashavar, the rain is falling. Some light sounds of thunder roll in the distance, and you stand face to face with this creature that's looks weakened, exhausted even. Thank you.
Is that a mental thing, or are they saying
Out loud
words?
in common.
Ashavar is kind of blinking, goggle-eyed. And she takes a minute to gain her composure and kind of gives a abbreviated bow and says, "You're welcome. That was something. You need food."
I just want to take in the freedom from. Looks up, lets the rain wash down her face, cheeks. Food, no, thank you. Company. Been far too long here by myself. Well, with Grog,
Okay.
I suppose.
Now, it's a delight.
My apologies. My name is Rinne Selfistray. You can call me Rinne. And you are?
Nice to meet you, Rinne. My name's Ashavar.
Pleasure.
You can call me Ashavar. There are too many ashes in our group. It's confusing.
The sense others. The ownership has changed again. I am. Please, I'm weakened, exhausted even. Can you? I need to return to the basement's 4th floor, please. Will you bring me?
Ashavar kind of raises an eyebrow at mention of basements, but she nods and kind of does a this way motion and starts leading them back to the mansion.
They kind of hobble over a bit and ask to use you, put their arm on your shoulder for support. May I?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And if she needs it, then Ashavar would kind of hoist her up a little bit as well.
Okay, nice. They indeed, it does seem like seems like they do. You can you've seen recently Xia with 4 points of exhaustion, so you have a pretty good idea of where this person's at. Um, what is
that
yes.
dying and reborning must have taken it out of you.
I've been in solitary here far too long. I've lost my sense of self. Devolved into madness. Further madness until became nothing more than that creature. Unable to escape. You brought me something wonderful. Thank you for the difficulties you must have faced in gathering the Everbloom.
Well, there were some sharks.
Oh.
But glad we could come through. It didn't look like a pleasant time you were having. She's kind of stammering a little bit.
Nice. You've made it to the switchbacks and you're kind of, navigating up the mountain. But I've been lost out here too long and I need to return to the power source in the 4th floor basement floor. Need to reconnect. hobble up the stairs, the cave. And I'm going to jump over to everybody else that is upstairs in the bedroom floor. Oh, I will say, Ashvar, you do remember some of the loose translations that Dorian and Diana gave did mention something about some source of power or power on that fourth floor, basement floor rather. Okay. Sadie, Zia, Alana, everyone else, the gang upstairs with Ghost and the crew settling into rooms. Everyone's kind of set with their rooms and probably going to head back down to eat, I assume, unless there's anything you'd all like to do before gathering in the dining hall. Nope.
I think very briefly on the way down, Zia would stop at at Jolene's door and just kind of wonder for a second what's behind it and what like the ideal would be for her sister. But knowing that she couldn't possibly, you can't lockpick anything like this. She would just end up continuing to meet with everyone else.
All right. All right. You'll make your way down to. Then Vic's been cooking furiously, some rather quick and easy, but tasty and straight. Just nothing with too fancy. He's really hungry. You're all probably pretty hungry, so he's just getting something going for dinner, as this is evening time. You all settle down, and I guess just to kind of match times, I'll ask Ashavar, as you reach the elevator with Rinne, right, Rinne's selfie stray, but Rinne for short. Do you want to bring them to the fourth basement floor? Are you bringing them up to meet everyone else? What would you like to do as you're kind of climbing into the elevator?
Well, they look pretty exhausted, so I think her first, I think Ashvar's first instinct would just be to go down to the basement.
Okay. Right. So you're in that very bottommost level, down with where the ship is docked, and you go in the elevator, and you hit the button, pull the lever or whatever for the. We'll just say it's a lever for this elevator, since that's the theme of the campaign. And tick, 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 you go up to the fourth basement floor. Bing! It opens up, and the doorway, of course, is still sealed shut. Thank you. This perhaps this is some advice. Normally, oops. Let me find my spot. I'm so sorry. Oh, my notes. Where are you? You know what? I'll just search. Here we go. Right? Yes. Normally, when guests such as yourself or the owner leaves this place, Macaw, partly due to my power, it remains out of normal space and time. Owner leaves, and then it's as though the next return is immediate to us here on the island. However, they just kind of lean over a little, stumble a little, onto you. Ashvar, sorry. something happened. Something happened to the last owner. And sent me into where I ended up. And rather than reverse the effects, and we were simply here, Gorg and I, and creatures of the land from. We've been here for eons, stuck outside of time in the reverse, and I'm so over time after losing myself. Embarrassingly enough, I was sustained a bit through the energy of Gorg's nightmares, the only sentient creature on the island. But some of my incarnations sought their own sustenance, and believe they found their way likely here to the power source. So it might be foolhardy for just the two of us to enter. I'm recovering a bit here myself. Might I ask that we speak with your friends, the owner in particular? Um, Perhaps I can ask you, capable folks, to help clear the way from the halls of power here.
Sure. I think everybody's upstairs eating. I could bring them down here, or we could go up there.
I've waited long enough. Let's go there. I wouldn't want to be so rude as to interrupt a meal. There's time to spare. There's time. If I hate to impose all of this. But if you're willing, I would like to meet them. Hopefully they're all as kind as you.
I'd say so. At this point, Ashavar's just curious as hell, so take her new friend up to the dinner table. Look who's coming for dinner. Hi.
Nice, yeah. And the doors are already open to this pretty large dining area. It's got the kitchen off of it. But you're all sitting and enjoying the food. There's different foods to choose from. And you hear, Ashavar's footfalls. You probably recognize each of your crew's footfalls. And plus another set, and you're sort of looking around, you're eating. For those that are being perceptive, and like, wait, 1, 2, 3, like head counting. And Ashavar steps in with them. The image you see, they even have that slight little like a fading in and out halo. It shines bright, kind of like a loading ring in a computer, right? Where they kind of shine bright in one section, they get dim. But just that crystal white color there up top over their head. They're just gonna follow Ashavar in, and they kind of behind Ashavar's shoulder.
Hello, hi everybody. This is Rinne. They used to live out in the forest and consume nightmares and stuff, and gave them the Everbloom and new friend.
Question, Dan, are the seating in this place, is it like benches or is it individual chairs?
They let's see, here it's chairs, individual chairs.
Okay,
Set on
so
either side of long farmers' tables.
Sadie will like kind of scoot back in her chair, like at the mention of like that she came from the forest. That's interesting.
Yeah, and they need us. They need our help because they're really, really tired to open the fourth basement door.
Oh, and Zeal will look over at Dorian and Diana. Like the fourth basement door. Where
4
The-
levels of basement here.
there are quite a few of them. We've
Hmm.
only been able to traverse a few. The fourth level is one of them that has not been totally cleared.
The, I only I have access and can grant access to the new owner. Sensing it's one of you, and looks like Xia and whatever people are on either side of you.
Scoots back again. Not me.
Well, it did belong to my father, but it was never really. I mean, I don't know if they didn't really leave like a will or anything, and uh,
It's not too sensitive. Might I ask what happened to him?
I don't know. Uh, it seems like he disappeared from this plane of existence. I've been looking for him for more than 10 years now.
Something definitely went wrong.
What do you mean?
There was some repercussions when whatever happened to him happened. I'm terribly sorry. Might I join you? And I don't wish to interrupt the feast you have prepared here. Can share while we eat if it's not too much of an imposition.
Not at all. I mean, you've been in perpetual nightmares for how long now?
Eon, lost
Yeah.
track, yes.
Ah,
I remember the
yeah,
first
you
two.
definitely get some food in. Yeah.
Thank you. Don't want to spread, and they'll kind of sit somewhere in the vicinity, probably of like um, Zia. Where's Alana sitting? Because he might be interested in Alana too. Wizardly magic.
I don't know. I mean, nearby everyone, I guess.
Okay.
I didn't really. I don't know.
The seating arrangement. Okay. We'll take the spot kind of around Zia because they're not sure who. All right, they know that you're the new owner, and and turn to invite. Obviously it's your place, Ashavar, but they're just like, please, sit with me. Um,
Yep.
this food is divine. Um, it could be because I'm really hungry, but I like the thing. It smells wonderful too. Oh my. Who can I thank for this?
That would be Vic.
He's from the
Well,
kitchen. Thank you, dear. Thank you. Right, answers, right? You're eating with a stranger. It's was something altogether different. Half an hour ago. As I was sharing with Ashavar, I yes, my name is Rinne Selfie, but please just call me Rin. It's quite fine. I've been here. Well, I've been here for a very long time. Um, but normally, Macaw itself here exists out of space and time. You might already be aware of this. To those that live here, Gorg and I, um, when an owner would leave, it would seem as though they instantly return. They might have been gone for a year, but to us, they leave, and because we're out of time, they come right back. One of the malfunctions of sorts that took place with whatever happened with your father um, was that was inverted, and we've just simply been here for eons before. Um, Time was instead extended for us. Well, my Gorg seems quite fine. I'm pure of heart and simple of mind, and I think perhaps that worked towards his advantage. I spent far too long in relative solitary here, and simply lost all sense of myself. Fell into madness and deeper still until I was trapped in this loop in which you discovered me. I do remember all of you vaguely working so hard to reach out to me some time ago, and I thank you for that. Around everyone that's sort of taken part in helping. Anyway, right, why am I here, right? That's probably the big question. Yes. Well, I was tasked by Al, the overguard, which I imagine you're familiar. And you can all make religion checks if you want. And Sadie, what'd you get?
My brain just went completely dead.
Yeah.
Okay, 10 total.
Okay, then thank you.
Yeah.
Ashavar?
4.
Okay. Xia?
4 squad.
Oh,
100%.
nice. And Elena?
11.
Jeez, okay. I'm gonna say, let's see.
We're not a very religious group.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Nope, I don't think it clicks for anyone. Al, is, an overgod. They're the ones that created all the deities as we know them today. I was tasked by Al, as were all the Celestials that trace their lineage back to Al's only begotten Celestial, which would of course be your ancestor. Looks to Zia. But we all willingly took on these duties, different duties for each of us. Even I, who was an outsider, allowed to perform. In one way or another, we were all asked to keep this Macaw, the Omega Key, safe. I help keep Macaw safe by keeping it out of normal space and time. The way it should work is when you leave, you sync back up with normal time, but while you're here, you're removed from the normal flow of time. Time effectively pauses out there for you. When you leave, it resumes.
Did you say the Omega Key?
Yes.
In what way a key? A key to what?
To the world's end.
And why do you say you're an outsider?
Oh, well, I'm not a celestial. I was not created by Al. I perhaps you're familiar in Archfey. Looks around to see if anyone's familiar with. Everyone can make a history check if they want.
It's gonna be bad.
Yep.
Never mind.
Oh, nice. Sadie, what'd you get?
Reverse psychology your dice every time.
Nice.
14 for
14.
Sadie.
Okay. Ashbar?
Also 14.
Okay. Thea?
19.
Ooh, a lot of.
25.
Ooh. Okay. DC's a little bit high in this one too, because they're, typically out of the sight. They don't let themselves be known that well. So Xia and Elena would know. Archfey just said they're ridiculously powerful in general. Fey creatures, fey people. Typically, they have a number of boons and that allow them immortality. All sorts of different, really, really fantastic powers. The ability to alter time, to do things on a very, very large scale. They can, destroy a forest for 40 miles in any direction with a look, kind of thing. They're really powerful. They can do a lot of cool
Oh.
magic-y things. I'm an archfey, and this is going to sound like I'm bragging, but I promise I'm just saying this in a factual way. I'm likely the most powerful archfey to ever exist. I'm too tired of all sorts of accolades long ago. But let's just say that I could stand toe to toe with the gods, and have on several occasions. I had lived so long that I'd lost any real purpose to life. And when the presence of an overgod appears before you, helps shift perspectives a touch. As Al explained, I'm not sure how much your father shared and informed you, but this curse, the Omega curse, came from creation, and the deities had an opportunity to rewrite it, to try again, but to put themselves at risk. So they decided it wasn't worth them getting hurt, and mortals would simply have to deal with that. Al left this place as a means for mortals to secure their own fate with the Omega Sea. I did not feel it was right to simply leave it in the hands of the deities acting so selfishly. So if it ever came to be that mortals needed or wanted to undo the Omega curse, they had Macaw, they had the independent keys to activate access to the world's end. And I thought did not get along with the gods myself. Their greed, and some are quite lovely, but many are jealous and greedy, and they do bad things to people. And when Al said, "Here, perhaps you can lend aid to the mortals, give them an opportunity to circumvent the gods if they need," I felt that was a task I would gladly take on. And it gave me purpose again. It might seem like a thin reason to do something, but I'll tell you, after a certain number of years living, when centuries become eons, and eon after eon passes, really find worth in having a purpose. Goals and... Anyway, food is divine, right? Oh yes, but I'm here because I need to access that fourth basement floor. I can grant you access as well as a new owner. I have to reconnect. I've been away too long out in the forest. Oh, but there's danger, sorry. Turns to Ashavar because he sort of explained and feels bad that he's completely they've completely blanked again.
Oh,
Oh,
Ashmar hears the word danger and she starts smoking.
nice. um, some of my manifestations may have found sustenance by entering that fourth basement floors over the eons. One or two have handful perhaps have slipped in there. So they're likely, I mean, they're mindless and likely dangerous. But I'm a bit weakened. In understatement, I suppose, right now. Hoping to enlist your aid in clearing them out so I can reconnect to the power source.
Ashmar kind of looks at Zia and like with a kind of, I don't know, come on, sort of a look. And it's like, then we get to see what's in the basement.
Hey, can I roll an insight check, Dan, just to see
Mm,
if I believe what this person is saying
absolutely.
in general?
Sure.
Okay. That's a 16 total.
16. Yeah. They seem be telling the truth. It's there's an air of course natural difficulty in believing something so fantastic. But it all seems very genuine. Good.
I'm just assuming that Ashavar is accepting everything that is said. One, because it's awesome, and two, because she's had some mental connection with this creature before.
Mhm.
I think at this point, Zia's kind of trying to gather people's emotions as they stand on their faces around the room,
Mm.
trying to see where people's thoughts lie.
So,
Basement. That's it. That's what the
Um, Ren, so as an archfey, with these, I mean, these echoes of yourself, right?
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, you know, you've been weakened, which is, I'm sure, uh, not a great experience. Um, uh, you know, considering that at your full power, you'd be able to destroy like what, like 40 miles worth of forest just by looking at it.
Yes.
Uh, these echoes of yourself, especially after they fed on this power source, what kind of or how powerful do you think that they would be,
Um,
uh, generally?
a far cry from my true power. In that state, I was unable to summon forth even a fraction of my strength. I feel that you're likely up to the task, though it may be difficult. Um, I don't think they'll leave the level, so if worst comes to worst, can run back to the elevator, I suppose. And try
Yeah,
again.
fair enough, fair enough. And then once you reconnect to the power source,
Hmm.
what happens then?
Um, well, once I can do that, I can firstly correct this inverse time, but then I can properly power the island. I've been tasked to do.
Okay, okay.
Um, not a charge for me. I charge the island. It draws up my power.
What I mean, if you're in such a weak state, wouldn't you it be best to recuperate before? I mean, would it drain what you have left?
No, it should allow me to sort of like yes, sir. aren't battery chargers here. I don't know how to explain this. It's sort of a cyclical thing, but I am also happy to wait. If you have the last thing I want to do is barge in and surprise someone that was something else, and now I'm here and I've got request. Please, if you have other matters to attend to, I would not be against another day or two of delicious food and lovely company before we tackle such an endeavor. I'm entirely fine.
Zia's gonna look towards Ashavar uh, and just try to figure out where she is emotionally at this stage.
You're probably going to get a mixture of like sort of slightly confused awe and just gleeful anticipation of going somewhere that she's never been before and possibly shouldn't be going.
Okay. This would then be followed with Zia connecting on the mental link to Alana. I mean, you're kind of also a time traveler, kind of. Uh, I know this probably. I mean, you're familiar with the Omegas. Is any of this familiar to you at all? Like these keys or anything like that, or is that even older?
If I'm wrong here. But replying on the mind link, she'd say, well, I wasn't even aware of the world's end when I was doing my research. It's why it failed. So the idea of a key to it, while I suppose makes sense, I see the gods wanting to gatekeep such an area. I'm afraid I don't have too much insight.
Okay. I think we should probably go down there and take care of those things sooner rather than later.
Let me interject. For someone who just sorry, I'm trying to get a hold of my accent here. Who just
Like an
came out of the
angel in
forest.
heaven.
Like an angel in heaven. For someone who just came out of the forest, being what you say, tormented and and I don't mean this in any offense or anything, but you seem awfully I don't know, articulate. Um, you know, uh you seem very your thoughts are very well put together for someone who's been isolated for so long. I just find that curious. It's interesting.
Oh. Does it? Sorry, things change every eon or so. Does it take a long time for people to collect their thoughts these days? They take a long time to become aware of
No,
themselves.
but if they've been isolated for a long time, I'm not saying I have any experience with this or anything, but if you're cut off from civilization, cut off from talking
Yes.
with other people and what most would consider proper civilization for some time, it does take time to kind of gather those things back together if you even can. It's just fascinating to me that someone who's been alone for as long as you say you have can come in and I don't know, pretty much hold a conversation, if not tell a story.
I see what you're saying. Yes. Thankfully, though exhausted, my mind is still my mind. all lost in madness for some time. That was I was grounded to my original self, thanks to the efforts of your friends here, and gestures to Ashavar and Grundy and Cassius, Grieved and Everbloom for me, which is a key part of a ritual I partook in a very long time ago, one of the original to become an archfey, something that helps tether me. There are certain precautions that archfey take. As you likely know, when some grow in power, there are others that want that power, or don't want you to exist, or want to use you for their own will. And while I do have a very strong mind, this magic is unpredictable. There are new things being discovered every day almost. And so there are things that bring me back to a new body, should something happen to my body. And an Everbloom is something that brings me back, my mind back to whenever lose my mind, whether due to a very embarrassing situation such as this, let myself go so far, or the manipulations of another to diminish my intellectual capacity, or rob me of my free will. It's a responsibility having power, I feel. Most of us feel. We can't let it get into the wrong hands. I hope
And
that it's...
after they're finished, can Ashavar break into the conversation for a second?
I'm good.
Oh, you're good. Ashavar can talk now?
Mhm.
Okay, sorry. I've been out all day. My brain is fried.
You're fine. You're fine. I was just waiting to see what Steph was gonna say. I didn't want to step on her toes, but I imagine she's okay.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
good.
Ashavar just will probably break in a little bit after, and with very animated hand motions explain, like, well, see, the madness part was actually this big giant creature with very disjointed elbows. They were very creepy, and like shoulders that went the wrong places, and it was like as big as the forest, or as tall as the forest. And that madness bit died, and Rin climbed out of it. So I think the Rin part is the same part, and the madness part is dead in the forest now. That help?
Sadie's going to speak onto the mind link to the group, but directly to, everyone can hear it, directly to Ash, to Ashvar. Yeah, but just because, who's to say that it's two different things, though? I mean, just because they were once a beast and now they're not doesn't mean that they're not always the beast, even if they don't look like it.
Go ahead.
Just replying on the mind link. I do want to add that they're on the level of the gods, and they're not exactly the kind of group that just lets anyone in. If she has all, I mean, an archfey, the power that they hold is magnificent. I personally have no doubt that their mind is as stable as it's like saying. While I appreciate the caution.
Agreed. If there was any creature that could survive like that for eons, it would be an archfey.
Ashavar will also add that she felt the the madness creature, nightmare creatures, felt their mind before they went out to seek the Everbloom, and there was no coherent thought coming out of that. No possibility of sentences. Probably not even a word.
I think Sadie's just going to get really quiet and just kind of lean back on her seat and just kind of keep her eyes on this new person.
Okay, Ren, I think, we have some considerations between us, and of course, some of us have more experience having seen your previous form multiple times. Some of the people who are here have never seen it. Possibly that's a good thing for their minds. But with that in mind, I think it's important to understand as much as we can about Macaw. I think we have been searching for the worlds, and for quite some time, a friend of ours lost their mind trying to figure out some of the secrets consuming it.
Oh.
And so I think, in my opinion, and I don't necessarily speak for everyone here, but I think it's worth giving a shot. But of course, we can go down, check things, take stock of what's going on in the room, maybe how many shades have entered, and then shut the door while we potentially figure out a plan once we know kind of the layout. And Zia will turn to Sadie and say, does that sound like a good plan?
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
If you don't feel up to the task, or again, I understand that I'm effectively barging into your home and asking this of you, and then certainly I can understand. Actually, they're just gonna insight you, Sadie, to see if they get the vibe. I mean, roleplay wise, you're giving the vibe of distrust, but let me know if you're trying to hide that
no.
in character.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think that she's capable of hiding it in character.
Okay, they got a 28 anyway, so. Okay. I understand mistrust. And the another option is I can simply wait. I can wait till I've regained power and take care of myself in maybe a month's time or so.
Can I ask if you're familiar with the books of Enoch?
Yes.
Okay.
Have you found their chamber? Oh, two DM quick things. First,
Yeah.
it's the 7th floor. That's the power place. So, my bad.
Gotcha.
That's
No
the
worries.
7th floor, basement floor. The second thing, let's quickly do the DM inspiration roll, because I keep forgetting, and I just want to have that here in case any of you want to use that tonight.
What are you trying to say, Dan?
Nice. All right, so it's just a regular D20, and whoever gets closest gets DM inspo. So you're a level 10. So I believe it's D10 for you all now. That's
I
exciting.
think so. Yeah.
All right, Steph, what'd you get?
19.
19. Okay. Sarah, how about you?
18.
Oh, okay. Claire, how about you?
I also got a 19.
Oh, wild. Okay, and Lil?
Crazy. I also got a 19.
Wait, so 3 19s and 1 18?
Yes.
Oh man, that would have been a really cool three type, but I rolled a 9. So Sadie gets it with an 18, being
No.
closest.
No. Ashvar.
Ashavar gets it.
Ash has,
I
okay.
got a 19.
Okay. All right, Sarah, you've got it tonight. Excellent. Woo. Wow.
Wow.
Three
Oh, that was
19s.
crazy.
You're on sync.
Yeah, that's like when Claire rolled the 3 1s in a row.
That
Yeah, like you
a
just.
day that will live in infamy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, that was it for DMY. So going back to Rin, um, have you found I believe it's a 6th basement floor is where they're stored.
You have them stored there?
Well, they were last with the last owner.
So, some things have happened. Uh, we've recovered one of them that had become the holy book of the Tildari civilization. So I'm assuming it was there for at least 1,000 years or so, maybe longer. I don't know how long it takes to become a holy book. And then another one had been taken by a international terrorist organization. Uh, but my sister managed to trade key of some kind that they wanted for it, and so now she has it. And then there's another one that she also has. And I don't know her. Well, I don't think her intentions are
They're not on good terms.
Well, I don't know how to summarize this very quickly. Our mom was a complicated person. And I had no memory that either of my two sisters existed. It was erased from my mind. And so I only have fractions of memories with my sister at all. I mean, she still has a room here on the island, so she's been here, and I don't know how the books got off the island in the first place. I mean, it was before she was born, so that's probably not.
Books were here when you were children. I remember you all from when you were children.
You do?
Yes, you were guests with the previous owner. But the last, let's see, the last I recall before we were shut off for eons, it's funny. I'm having trouble remembering. We were all here, and I know you departed, but I don't remember. And I don't always remember these things, but that's strange. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. I wonder if your loss of memory and mine are connected. But also, I mean, what being would be so powerful to be able to sap memories from you?
Right. Oh, let me see. We're here. The owner left. And very shortly after he left, your mother gathered the three of you and took the smaller craft that's also attuned to the island. Which was odd because she truly detested that ship. It's more of a roundabout than an actual ship. Yes. But she gathered you all up hurriedly and left. It did strike me as odd at the time, but to me, anyway, that was so long ago. Thought memories were just a bit fuzzy there, but I do recall.
But not why she would have. Do you think
It seemed
do you
as if
think she might have planned this? Whatever happened to my father the previous summer.
it's possible. She was certainly aware of many archaic rituals, and
But she couldn't have been powerful enough to like do too much to you
no,
or Raziel, right? Like, I mean, no mortal could stand up to an archfey or a celestial, right? Like, let alone a solar.
I would think so. Feel that your father always had a bit of a blind spot with your mother, which worries me. Some undue trust. Wasn't my place. It's my place to serve, and so I did share. Sometimes your mother would take you children to different. I could tell by the components she would gather. They were empowering rituals at different locations around the quadrant, and always sort of behind your father's back. And so I did. I let him know at one point, and he brushed it off to a certain degree as her following her ways. I don't know much about where she came from, or what her ways or her customs were, or her culture, but she was steeped in them and intended to do so. Many arguments about her wanting the same for you, culturally, to pass these things on, but often that didn't quite line up with what she was doing.
Yeah.
But again, maybe had a bit of a blind eye when it came to her, blind spot when it came to her. She was rushing as though chasing after him, so not
Chasing
something
after
she.
him.
Yeah, so very hurriedly gathered you all right after he left onto the roundabout and took off. It was right after a very serious argument. I don't like, again, to eavesdrop, but it was rather loud and had something else to do with one of her rituals, something that he strongly disagreed with. Very upset that she had performed something and was wanted to perform something else, and they seemed to smooth things over.
Right before hurriedly leaving.
Yes, yes. It was late in the night, and he left.
And
And
he left on which ship?
the Tempest.
So, um, we arrived on the Tempest.
Oh,
Um, we had found it crashed on a island in the middle of nowhere. I mean, nothing but a few spiders on the island. Um, that was some time ago. Um, there was magical darkness throughout the engine room, um, which we eventually dispelled, but
good.
there was no sign of him at all.
Perhaps you could show me on, if you've perhaps already discovered the map in the library. Perhaps you could show me where that island was. I can see if there's anything I'm aware of in its history.
For sure. Zia's definitely kind of in a really like almost panic attacking mood
Mm-hmm.
because like every single time there's been this dispersal of information, it's just been another 2 steps forward and then 3 steps back. Figuring out yeah, are they alive? Are they dead?
Mm.
Are they good? Are they bad? and at this point, she's really just willing to totally blindly trust this person.
Okay.
And would follow them basically anywhere at this point, just at a chance of obtaining slightly more knowledge.
Okay.
If
Gotcha.
if that anxiety stress is in any way visible, Ashavar will kind of move over to Xia and like not really do anything, but just kind of sit next to her and be there in case comforting is needed.
Thank you, Ashavar.
Mhm.
Okay.
I should ask as well. Did you, on the fourth basement floor, there's a whole entire compendium of about the world's end. Have you opened that? Is it keyword to get in? You have.
Yeah, I believe we have. I guess the compendium was well, there was a lot going on. We kind of rushed in and out.
Mm.
I don't know, remember, I don't think we gained too much more information from that, but with your help, I'm sure we could return to it and maybe find out some more.
And as a quick DM note, as Allie learned about that, she kind of pieced together too, saying there were manuals in there, and each one talked about a specific key to activate this greater key, which
Mhm.
might be Macaw, to allow entrance into the world's end. And there was a specific piece of arcane technology, four of them that were keys. You have one. Allie has it. The one from the auction house she recognized. So you all recognized. But Allie had said, hey, maybe Alana would be familiar with this since it's from Alana's time and might even know like where it was because they also talked to Alana. She talked to Alana about the islands that Alana used to know. Do they go straight up in the air? So Alana might be able to be like, "Oh, that island, it's over here," and now it might be in the sky straight up. So that might be as a DM reminder. That might be something where Alana can help with that too, with the books and locations. Um,
Well, we do know, I guess, with the minor keys that one of them was traded, most likely was traded on Daphne by my sister, in
oh,
exchange for one of the books of Enoch, which
oh,
is even more interesting because, I mean, my original thought was that she was going to try to shift reality in some way, either by expanding the Omega Sea
oh.
or something of that light. But if she was getting rid of the keys,
These aren't
think
literal keys, though. These are sort of devices that act as required device keys, and that you need them to gain access. But you say
yes,
she had a literal key, and she wished to change reality with it, perhaps.
that's been our first kind of thought
Oh
about why she
no.
would be gathering the books. And I only say key, we don't know for sure. And Z will look at over to Ash and be like, we know very little about what was going on at Staffney, but
Hmm.
our friend overheard some talk of trading a key for the Book of Enoch. And I can think of very few keys that would be that valuable to
I
be
can think
traded
of
for such an
one,
item.
only one, in fact. There was a different structure that stood here on the core when it was still fastened to the land. A part of Macaw that was a device unto itself. A magnificent tower. Gosh, let me think, Alana, if you would know. Um, Alana, make a history check if you would. because you know that they it was like a celestial, like Macaw was its own little very small, almost not even a continent, right? It's like a large island, and it was sort of always celestial based and things, but they didn't really share with the world too much. What'd you get with your uh, history? You can do history check with advantage because you existed in that time and you were right in the middle of magic, and this would be a magic thing.
Oh, great.
Oh.
Okay.
Oof.
It's very different. It's a 28.
28. Okay. While fairly secretive, you were in that. I mean, you were in that group of what, like 7 of you all together, like this super elite crew of people doing top end magic at the time in a world where everything was magic. So definitely, while not open to the public, um, you probably would have worked. They would have wanted your minds on the project and like compartmentalize little pieces, but you all talk. This construction of a tower that you all, given its properties, um, and your fixation with doing Omega things, you're like, you know what would be perfect? We'll call it the Omega Tower. Like among yourselves, you called it the Omega Tower. A tower with so much magical potential, ninth level magic, wish level magic, that it could shape and change reality within it. And potentially, as you kind of all piece the things together, it might be able to traverse the Omega curtains themselves and navigate between the different quadrants. The system to allow entry, you were like, well, this is going to require like specialized training. I think you probably would have even been tasked with developing a training for wizards that you deemed Omega wizards that would operate and watch over such powerful magic. It would need to be taught in very advanced ways of arcana. Um, security system would be a physical key as well as attunement. You would need to be attuned to the tower by an Omega wizard, and you need a key, and that key could go into any keyhole in any door in the world. And if you unlock the door and opened it, it would open up into the Omega Tower. Anyone that wasn't keyed would just get fried if they walked in. But if you were attuned, you could step right in from anywhere, and that door would forever be tethered to the Omega Tower. So you could then be like, okay, where do we need to go? This city? Yeah, we already opened a door in that city. Let's go back. So anyway, you remember that as they are talking about this key and what that tower, like kind of what they're talking about, and it's kind of clicking for you.
I'm sorry. Your sister has the key to the Omega Tower?
The what?
That is what you're referencing.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Didn't realize you were familiar. Terribly sorry. Yes, that's what I'm concerned. I'm concerned that her sister has a key. Well, had a key. I guess traded it. Perhaps the others are seeking a way to bypass the attunement. Yeah, you definitely don't want them gaining access to that. Well, I imagine it's guarded by many, many Omega wizards. But that's the only key I can think would be worth. Especially if she's in the pursuit of changing, bending reality. She might have come across one of those.
I mean, the hope would be that they're guarded by Omega Wizards, but respectfully, the people of this time are not on the same level as as, as they were, and I don't know if they're still alive.
Once I'm reconnected, I can see what I can do about determining if it's where it is, if it still exists, if there are any Omega wizards left. Hopefully, there are plenty.
Okay. This is just a lot to take in, and I am not super hungry anymore. Uh can we go to the map? Um and then I'd like to go to the power source. I mean, and if you don't want to come to that, that's fine. But
Oh, I'm coming. Definitely.
thank you. Um, okay, let's hope we can get things together in time. I'm not super confident about what I'm hearing. And Zia will kind of get up and start heading to the elevator.
Sadie will follow.
You gonna do, Alana? You'll find Finn going for some too, and a couple of other bits. Definitely enjoying the food. Rin rather. Okay, so you all kind of finish that, head to the elevator, and you're going up to the library first to show Rin the map. On the way up to the library, Rin will add seems things are a bit more dire than I expected. I did not. I'm worried that your mother took the books because they were there that the day prior. Um, and I don't think anyone else has come to the island since you all left. I mean, I know no one has, or I would have experienced them arriving.
I mean, that was not too long ago. I don't, I mean, hmm, you're familiar with the Tildari, yes?
Um, Let me think if they would be. Let's see. Oh, the Tildari, yeah. Oh, yes, yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
So one book that we do have, we obtained from them, it had been one of their holy books.
Uh,
It had been taken by a nest of illithids when we
oh,
got there.
I see.
Um, but we managed to retrieve it.
Wonderful.
But I'm still wondering, how does something like, if my mother truly did have them, then I can't imagine she would let them out of her sight. As well as I have no idea what happened to her. I
Oh,
have what I'm almost certain is a false memory of her dying in a fire, a magical one.
oh.
But I'm not sure if I even believe that anymore.
I'm, as part of my duty and that I accepted from Al, I'm here to help. Um, Once I'm reconnected, I can even offer you all a small boon. Help in your travels and adventures and navigating all you must out there. Um, and this, I can reconnect with the island in a deeper way and perhaps resolve some of these questions. leading us. I can tell you must be weary from seeking answers. I hope you find them.
It does seem every time we get so much closer, it feels like we knew so little to begin with. Okay, and then
Yeah.
approaching the library and the
Okay.
map.
All right, you head over and call up that dome, sort of three-dimensional light dome, um, and single out the island as best you recall, because, like you said, it was sort of on the way from the Twin Cities of Sandir, from a lot.
On the way to Atmos,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
but it was
Um,
uncharted. We-
Yep. Uh, because the Tempest was there, it'll ping, thankfully.
Okay,
Um, yes, it's strange that Tempest is in this condition. This deserted here. Well, that's a question for later, I suppose. This island. I think I'm going to take some time, if that's all right, before we navigate what's down in the basement, and just consult the library regarding this island. I don't know anything. It doesn't. I don't recognize it. Just looking at its location, it's not any particular place of power that I'm aware of. But
mhm.
I'm very good at navigating this library, and if there's something here, I'll find it.
Thank you. I guess the other thing I would note
Yes.
is that it was under an illusion spell when we
Oh,
were there. And so, with that in the magical darkness within the engine room, somebody definitely didn't want it discovered. And they were almost certainly trying to hide it, whoever, whether it was my father or someone else.
oh, I see. Yes, so many questions. Um, well, I'll get underway. Researching here. Perhaps uh, perhaps you can, if you haven't examined it thoroughly, that fourth basement floor with knowledge of the world's end, um, might benefit you. And then we can reconvene, or of course do whatever you all wish.
Yeah, it's definitely getting late, but there's no way I can sleep with all this in my mind.
I
So,
understand. All right. Well, I will. I'll find you as soon as I find something. I'll work
thank
overnight
you.
if I need.
Appreciate it.
Yes. One last question before we get underway. Uh, some of my memory is still a little bit fuzzy. I can't recall where the closest bathroom is.
Yeah. Yeah. Knew it.
And with that, we'll take our bio break. Um,
Darth Vader needs to pee.
Ah,
I've been
love a
holding
lore
it.
dump.
More goodies. More
Very
goodies.
nice.
Nice. Yeah. Ooh, we'll get back at it here right after break. Uh, Thank you so much for the cheers, Lord Byron Hearts.
Mhm.
And for anyone who doesn't know, we take about a 10-minute bio break. We'll have our BRB screen up. Switch back to RP here for now. But we'll keep our audio hot so you can chat with us if you want. And we will catch you in about 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yep.
Boop! Just kidding.
Woo.
Like adding sound effects.
Ah.
All right.
Ah.
All right, I'm a snack. I'm gonna get some snacks. Oh, a hydrate for more than I missed. Thank you,
Oh yeah, that was a
Brian.
while ago.
Mm. So I dumped half of it on my shirt. Yikes. Jeez.
Save that for being on camera, Dan.
Mm-hmm. Dual cast. Alright. Okay. Back time. Thank you.
Dan know he's been Mike live this whole time.
What?
Does Dan know that his mic has been live this whole
Oh, I'm
time?
sure.
I'm what you call a ham.
just
like
want
the tension.
sure. Just want to make sure. You never know. You never know.
Thank you.
One thing about Dan, he does not mind.
Oh, I've never heard a truer statement of a human in my life.
I mean, it makes a good quality for being a streamer.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
true. It's true.
Try and like talk to this. Ever so sorry. Don't spill it. Don't spill it. Don't spill it. I didn't. Yay. I win. Oh shit. Just knocked the lighting over though.
Really? Oh, I was hoping you had spilled it.
Oh my gosh.
Nice. It's super hot, Robin.
Steph just wants to see the world burn.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Okay. Sorry. Well, I'm gonna let that steam rise up in front of the camera here. Kidding. I'll put it off to the side,
Nice.
and I will tackle that in a minute. Let's get back. Let's get back. Hit the button. Bring up our beautiful faces. Tasty. Okay, where were we? Secrets exploding everywhere. Right. So,
Oh, wow. I don't
Rinne's.
remember it being that exciting.
Yeah. Rinne is. What am I looking for here? What am I looking for? Is it in here? Rinne's researching about stuff up in the library. What would the rest of you like to do? Don't feel you have to go down to that World's End room. I just mentioned it because I know it was on the docket. So I figured I'd have the Rinne put it out there. But whatever you all would like to do, what's on the docket?
I would probably ask Xia to bring me to the World's End room. Because I want to start reading up on that. Get
Zia would
educated.
absolutely oblige to anybody who wanted to come.
Ashavar will probably go to her room
Mm-hmm.
and fill in whichever plushie happens to be there on the story so far, assuming that they communicate with each other, keep each other updated,
Ah.
and then either practice fancy, bone throwing, make it more flourishy, and then probably take a nap before this whole basement thing.
Nice. Something interesting occurs in that process, Ashavar.
Oh,
Let me get in my notes here for this. When you go to update your plushy friends, your stuffed friends. Come on, where did I put it? It's under Ashavar. There it is. Teddy Bear is there today. Purple worm off, slightly off of Breelith. I found its little description, so I'll just give a fresh idea. It's not all that frightening, but it's likely once a cute teddy bear. It has seen better days. Tattered and worn, its eyes are closed peacefully. Its little nose and mouth stitched into a smile, a bit of a jagged smile. Bless you. Its left leg hangs loose by some string. When squeezed, and sometimes on its own, it speaks. Though whatever powers the teddy bear is clearly on its last leg, is all it emits when squeezed is a warbled string of unintelligible sounds. Teddy bear. But there is a new stuffed creature, Ashvar, next to teddy bear, kind of like tucked halfway under the pillow in your room, and you just see the cute little legs. It's sort of like a chibi version of a humanoid. An adorable
I see
chibi
you have a
form.
new friend.
Mm-hmm. This one, a little more intricate than teddy bear. It's complete with a little detachable, like a bow and quiver that you can kind of take on and put on and take off. And its face has it's very simplistic, the eyes and stuff. But you can tell, even though there's just simple sewn-on features, it has a really fierce look, as though it's protecting their allies or pursuing some goal. Mhm. And what almost feels like actual humanoid hair is woven into a long braid down her back. And there are on the little felt-like arms, there's intricate tattoos that cover them.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you take a second, and I mean it's a doll, but has little slightly pointed ears. Gosh, if this couldn't look like Liazana.
Ashavar will shoot a look over at the teddy bear.
Mm.
Did you eat Liazana, Cornelius? Not really expecting a response, but
Little warbled sound does play at its own. Yeah, make an intelligence check, Ashbar, if you would.
intelligence? Oh, that's gonna go fantastically. But I do have a DM die, so I'm gonna use the DM die.
Ooh, nice. It's a D10 that you get to roll and add.
That is a total. What did you say? History? Well, all intelligence
Just
checks.
intelligence, sorry. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is the same. That is a 10 total.
And okay. Okay. Yeah. Yep, so that's the warble.
Okay. Well, hmm. She'll raise an eyebrow at Cornelius.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him, I really hope you didn't eat my friend. Talk later. But
Mhm.
she will make the new plushie comfortable on her bed
Mm-hmm.
and say hello
Mm-hmm.
and not call it Liazona.
Nice. Mm.
And she tells the new plushie, I'm going to have to figure out a name for you. It's going to take me a minute. And then she, continues with her plant routine.
Okay. Thank you for the raid, Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so you continue on as you're doing. So, Alana and Xia are headed down to the world's end room. Is Sadie going as well?
Nope.
Okay, where's Sadie headed?
Sadie is staying right in that freaking library to keep an eye on
Oh.
Ren. Yep.
Okay.
Would probably ask if they needed any help at first. Just kind of like slowly approach them.
Mm-hmm.
And just
Oh.
um, uh, do you need any help? Looking for some books.
I don't know specifically what I'm looking for, so don't think I could ask for any help. But your company would be delightful. It's been so long, so
I'm sure.
would you care to tell me a bit about yourself while I look through these books? I'm an excellent multitasker.
I'm sure. You can just say that I'm new to the group myself, but they've been very accommodating,
Oh,
as
lovely.
they have been with you. But they're a very, very good group.
They are. Kindness abounds. And the fact that many of them sought me out just as a like that terrifying visage I had, and sought to help me. I don't, in my experience, think there are too many that would do that. So,
Sure.
so tell me about yourself. I'm sorry. What is your name? I didn't even ask. I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, my name is Sadie. It's a pleasure.
Good
Yeah.
night. What are
Mm.
some of your interests, Sadie? What sort of things
Oh,
do you
you
enjoy?
know this and that. I like ships.
Oh,
Tempest is definitely interesting. I was glad to it was a bit of a stowaway. Um, the group was
delightful.
very kind and welcoming me in. But just been a bit here and there. Spent most of my time the past few years on Atmos, but have been
Yes,
other places.
lovely,
Yes.
lovely. You know, even in its time, the Tempest was leagues ahead of the other ships.
Mm.
What I understand, it was one of the last built too.
The last build, what do you mean?
Oh, before the collapse.
Oh, right. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, I
Sadly,
believe.
after that, I don't know. There were hopes at first that civilization would resume. Even if it was altered, but the islands existing in the sky, they lost all of the resources of the land, and there were not enough to go around. And then things broke down into almost a bit of a tribal mentality, and
Mm.
everything just sort of was lost in that effect. People were, I mean, when you're faced with survival instead of self-actualization, you
Mm.
do the best you can. Terribly sad time, but I'm glad to hear that there's been quite some advancement since then. Shame that so much was lost down below.
Yes. So, they spoke of this, well, you as well spoke of this beast that you had been, transformed to.
Yes.
Hmm. Will you, you know, do you have the power to, transform into that again?
Not at the moment. I suppose, I mean, there's many forms I could take. I suppose I could take that form again, though. It's not, I don't know. It was a form just shaped for my madness. I couldn't see, I couldn't smell, I couldn't taste. It was not a pleasant form at all, unfortunately.
Sure. I could imagine. Only imagine. Hmm. Well, we're glad to have you here now. I'll allow you to do some research here, and I'll just be over here looking through some things. So if you need any help, just let me know.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you very much, Sadie.
Absolutely. And she will kind of go over to
Mm-hmm.
bookshelf still in sight and just kind of take a book off and turn back to where she can still face Ray what was the name? Rin. Still face Rin.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of like pretend that she's like looking through the book, but kind of like keep glancing up at them.
All right, make a perception check for me, if you would.
Sure.
And then follow with a sleight of hand to be covert in your
Okay.
peeking.
All right. Let's see here. That was a
Mm-hmm.
where did my where's my there we go. For perception, that is a 23.
Ooh, okay.
And sleight of hand, an 11.
Catalog those as you do your thing while they're searching away.
Okay.
All right. So then, Xia and Alana, you're both heading down to that World's End room, I believe, right? Let me switch to the battle thing because I have a bit of a better image, I think. I know. Do I?
I love how every single time you start off, let me switch to the battle thing. And
Mm-hmm.
like without beginning with saying like, oh, I want to show X before.
Let's
Mm-hmm.
switch to the
Immediately
battle.
thinking that we're gonna be like thrust into battle.
Oh yeah.
Oh. All right. I don't have the other thing plugged in. Shame on me. So we'll just use this image for now.
Shame on
Yeah.
you.
Dang. All right, so the two of you head down here. What would you like to do is you open up the door with the command word again, with the name of the ancestor, and navigate through that long hallway into the room that has that tree sort of raised in design out of that rear wall, and the room is not kind of turned on right now, where it becomes all like futuristic sort of magic yet. Just the dusty, or not dusty, but the kind of generic room.
Yeah, so this is one of those times where I'm like, And I think Zika would probably be in the situation as well, trying to remember, how did we turn this on last time? Did we turn this on last time? She's like, it was different. Something was different. And I'm sure that Alana is going to just basically see her darting all over the place, trying to like feel under any situation to try to see if there's like a button again.
Yeah.
If it's magic based, could I try and figure it out?
You do an investigation check just in general if you wanted.
22.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so you find that there is, in fact, if I recall, if Dan recalls, there was something in the wall that separated like ever so slightest seam, and if you press on that, it shifts open and transforms the space that you're in from what you're sort of seeing there. And sorry if it's not. Let me put the old word here. From Extremis. From such a cool image. Some of these other images in here. Goodness. All right, this is the room as it is now, and then this is the room as it shifts. I will just stop that. Our viewers. It's not really, doesn't have really the debris that you see in here, but it's more that it has all those books laid out. The magic level sort of elevates here. Everything's clean, pristine. There's little embers of magic that sort of float through the air. A bit of a misty atmosphere to it. There are 4 pedestals in each corner of the room, each with a book that is effectively a manual for what piece of arcane technology is needed and how to activate it. It was written in like some old school. I think there was old school Celestial, there was old school Sylvan, and then Common that was even a bit old school. It's just sort of what you see as you're all as the two of you are in the room. What would you like to do seeing all that?
Z at this point would be like, it's coming back to me a little bit. It's amazing that you were able to find that. I didn't even know there was a second activation because it was a word, I think, that we activated with the first time, now that I'm remembering. Uh yeah, so we have, or well, I mean, when Brilith was with us, she really found uh a lot of what was uh going on with the main book here and the 4 manuals, each of which describes, I guess, those keys that we were talking about. Um, it always seems like, first it's 1 book, then it's 3 books, then now it's 3 books and 4 keys. I mean, that unlocks the bigger key. Uh, it's a lot. But yeah, and Zia will go over kind of each of the books and kind of explain what we gathered from them last time. uh, kind of saying that the 4 components were, I believe the gear of time, Bezaliel's focus, Samuaz's tether, and Gadriel's engine. But that we really have, other than the one, really no idea where the others are.
And Gadriel's engine is the one that you have. Allie has, technically.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Is what I am here for, right? To see if I might know where they are.
You do.
Wait,
Right off the
really?
top of your head, you do, Alana.
Oh, really?
These were all like legendary level bits of arcane technology from your time.
So do I need the books?
The books are sort of instruction manuals on how to interface them in this room once you have them. I mean, go ahead and you have to take a little time reading the books. I guess do an investigation check and tell me how long you're willing to spend on reading the books to get an idea of what they're.
All the time.
Oh, we're here for an all-nighter, Dan.
Yeah. Sleep. Who's she? It's a 28.
Yeah.
The investigation.
Okay.
Holy crap.
That seems right for Ilana, the super powerful ultra wizard.
Yeah, so like Xia and Breelith had to spend like hours down here to try to figure out anything, and Alana's just like zooming all the way through all of them in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, she learned to speed read in high school or whatever.
Yeah, in ancient
Oh my
common,
gosh.
ancient Sylvan, and ancient Celestial simultaneously.
What's fun is that I do actually know those languages. Just wanted to show that
You
off.
find there's like interesting bits of information in some of the translations that are technically in the others, but it's more easily understood. So you kind of like reading back and forth between the different translations. Takes you maybe like half an hour to properly digest this first big ass tome. This one is Semyaza's tether. It talks about how that is part of the mechanism that allows some sort of unlocking of Macaw, that allows Macaw to access the world's end. The world's end being the true source and end of where the Omega curse comes from. And so, the beginning, the end of all time. It's time. It's a place. It's an event. It's truly, like the beginning and the end here. Of course, Siamyaza's tether in your time was on the great King Vaslow's land. They had a whole huge continent in the north in your time. Let me know if you need a minute. Okay. They had a huge continent in the north. Vaslow's the one that cast the spell to raise his continent into the air. You're the one that was like, let me piggyback on that and raise all these other cities, like with your ingenuity and the help of your fellow team of wizards and stuff. We're able to glom on to his power and the power of his legendary sword that was actually doing the spell. So his chunk is a pretty big chunk that went up in the sky. It brought with it its capital city of Ciovella, known as Iverness. Home of the Tildari. That's Semyaza's tether. If you want to read the others, I can tell you about those too. But
I want to read all of the books.
do you want to have a moment with Xia before you go to the next one, or do you want to read them all then?
I'll share with her as I go through, so she's not just watching me read in silence for hours.
I honestly think that would be funny, to be quite honest. Z is very thankful that you would share, but is now like, oh my god, we were right there. Did we miss it?
I mean, to be fair, I don't know that that's something they would just leave lying around for anyone to just pick up.
Well, Alana, if you had mentioned that it's way to the north, that would be very different than where Muthalani was. Muthalani, so Z, you might recall that it's Vic's clan, and there's a lot of, Goliaths and humanoid folks, some of which discovered that they're descendants of the Tildari, and that they can activate that in their genetics to take the form of a Tildari, but that they're trying to figure out. That archivist was like, well, when I retire, I get to go search the world. We go out on expeditions when the archivist's finished to find the true home of the Tildari. We don't know where it is. We want to connect. We want to know about our past more. So this could be exactly what Alana's talking about.
Okay. Okay. Good clarifications, Dan.
No problem.
Because for some reason I was like, ah, yes, they're just the Tildari.
Gotcha.
Okay. Uh, I don't know. What I was thinking was maybe the name of the city had changed, or languages change over time. But I guess it wouldn't be far north enough. And I mean, a continent like that's like, I mean, if it came in one piece, or I don't know, maybe if it's split apart over time. But okay. Well, at least we haven't missed it yet. Uh, do you want to look at some of the other ones? Like,
Absolutely want to look at some of the other things.
great, good to know. This one over here is on Bazaliel's focus.
Ooh, Elena, you start looking through this one. Of course, as soon as you hear the name, you're like, ooh, this one is close to home. Like, you're very familiar with this particular legendary piece of arcane technology, as its home is at Reykjavik. Yeah, so you kind of again get all the instructions on how to interface it with this room, and how to how it all works in tandem with everything else. You're sort of it's like the instruction manuals for these things. But this one, was in Reykjavik.
Oh, how exciting! This one is located in Reykjavik. Actually, where I'm from.
Oh, do you remember anything else about it? What it looked like, or what it could do? I think you might have mentioned the other one was like a sword or something, or
Let me see if I have these in the images here.
sorry to put you on blast, Dan.
No, you're fine. The other one is oh, thank you, Frozen. That's so sweet. Thank you for this. All right, let me turn off. Where are we? We're way up here. Let me turn this one off. So the first one, let me get the image up here. The one that you have is Gadriel's engine. Let me put this in Discord. I'm sorry, I put all those other images in the wrong someone else's chat in Discord. That was silly. I'm so sorry. I'm a silly person. This is the room that you're in Discord. Gadriel's engine looks like this. And it's effectively that. It's an engine. It can be used in a number of different ways. What was the next one? The one you were just talking about, Samyaza's tether. It's actually not a sword. Vaslo has a sword that was sort of part of his power. Of course, you have that bag of sharing here that you found in the other level. And remember, Breeless and you're the only one that knows at this point, Zia. You got that letter from, like, as though they were talking to they addressed it to your dad. Like, well, what's going on? This isn't signed Vaslo. Here's some.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Here's
Oh.
Samyasa's tether's just a little freaky, but that's also sort of an instrument that helps. These things haven't been used in conjunction ever before. They were owned like sort of property of different cities and continents and countries and nations. This one is a tether that helps stabilize a lot of different forms of magic. So you would know that a lot, and that's part of what you could share anyway with that. Zaliel's focus is here. Let me get it for our viewers as soon as it turns on. This is pretty straightforward. This is indeed a focus that helps take large magnitudes of magic and focus it into a specific wavelength or form function or just brings it down to frequency or whatever it is you're looking to fine tune it down into to work properly without like spikes and valleys and stuff. Um, is what that is used for. And then the gear of time. The gear of time, there isn't a ton known about it. I mean, it probably, based on the name, could have something to do with time, or superficially, like, might have been named that in reference to, in more of a silly way as to what it can do. But this, got it both places now, is the gear of time, which is the last component. You do know that as much as you are out of space and time, you know that the world's end is truly locked away, as to not be known. Like, the deities don't know about this. It's out of their perception. So things like this and a gear of time that pulls you out of time as you know it, to exist in a place that is both the beginning and the end. That's probably what this does. So Lonnie would also be able to share that, like, speculation.
Yeah, Alana would share all of this information. She'd be using Mage Hand to like flip through the pages while using her right hand to like write down notes. It would be kind of like muttering and then like looking up at Xia and giving her like the full information and not just her crazy mutterings.
Zia is gonna be, I think, a little bit like almost bugged about the sword specifically with Fazlo, and then thinking about the letter from the bag being signed with a symbol that looked like a sword buried in the ground with vines wrapped around it. And with that, she would try to mind link with Sadie. Sadie?
Yeah,
Are you still in the library with Rinne?
I am.
Do you mind asking them a question?
Sure. What do you need me to ask?
Can you ask them about Baslo and Baslo's sword? I know it's really not much, but we may have a message we need to respond to that I wasn't sure if that person was friend or foe.
Raslo and Baslo?
I've been hearing Baslo, I've been hearing Laszlo.
Raslo and Laszlo.
It's definitely one of those.
Okay. Oh, it's either Raslo or Laszlo.
Yeah, I couldn't really make out exactly.
Like, you changed it to two other things entirely that time. Baslo or Laszlo, didn't it?
It could be Taslo or a Draslo, but like
maybe Gaslo.
Full game of telephone.
All right. Let me
Zaslow.
let me
ask.
Zaslow. Zaslow. Okay, not Raslo or Laszlo, but Zaslow.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, maybe not, but
what? Is this only directly going to Sadie?
I was originally, but if you think you could make it funnier, I will retroactively put you on it.
No, I can't make it funnier.
Okay.
Then you're out.
Okay.
You're out.
No. I have something else to add, but it's not humorous.
So Raslo, Laszlo, Zaslow. Got it.
Shazlo, Maslow.
Or Jaslow. Got it. All right. Let me ask.
Thank you.
Kind of approach Rinne. Rinne.
Yes.
I have a question from my friends. They said you might know some information. Do you know anything about, now, we're not quite sure about the name and they seemed a bit, anyways, like Zaslow's sword, or maybe Raslow's sword. Maybe it might even be Laszlo or Jaslow's sword. Something Aslow's sword. Do you know anything about that?
Like the Vaslo?
Vaslo.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, they're gonna get a kick out of this. It's Vaslo. Mentally, that was on the mental link.
Nice. Yes, they were the warrior king of the Tildari,
Warrior
the
King
Ciovella.
of the
I think
Taldari up in the Sea of Ella.
Ivanus, after it rose to the
Ivanus Rose.
yes, Vaslo's the one that rose all his spell, lifted all the islands out of the ground up into. It was going to just be his, but there was a team of exceptional wizards that found a way to route that magic to 11 other cities to raise them up into the skies as well.
The islands rose, but there were a bunch of wizards that were trying to raise stuff as well.
There are always a bunch of wizards.
Alana sneezes.
Oh, well, I mean. Oh. Okay.
Yes,
Well, thank you for the information,
of
Ran.
course. But you wanted to know about his sword.
Yes. Oh, then none of that was about the sword. Okay. Yes, about the sword.
Did you? I think you did. You not say the sword?
Yes, I did say the sword.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that sword.
Well, it's Ruis's, of course, if you was the dish. But the other legendary sword, the one that he wielded to cast the spell, much of that information about it is known only to the Centauri, but it was certainly a legendary artifact of some sort.
Legendary artifact. The Taldari would know, but definitely rumored to be legendary. So just to make sure, Ran, are we talking about like a weapon, like silver, gold, something like something you hit with a sword, right? I just want to make sure I'm not getting things mixed up here.
Oh, yes, and I see what you're saying. I mean, both were said to be legendary, but yes, I was
Oh,
speaking on the sword, the weapon itself.
okay.
Mhm.
Yes. And mental link. This is an actual sword. Like you hit with like a whip. Well, I mean that you hit. That's
The wet
sharp,
what?
right? That's sharp. Use in battle. Oh,
So it wasn't
you're
a
muted,
metaphorical
Claire.
sword.
No,
Like
it wasn't a metaphorical sword,
that is
according to
very
Rand.
important intel.
However, it is rumored that that one was pretty legendary as well.
The metaphorical sword was, or that the sword was?
Correct. Well, both.
Okay. Can you ask if Raziel and I think you said Vaslo,
Yes, Vaslo.
if they yeah, that's what I said, Vaslo. If they knew each other, or a friend had never met Vaslo.
Oh, I don't think so, but I'll ask. So Rena, had you ever met Vaslo before, or was this all just rumor and legend?
Not in person. Sorry, if I were to leave Macaw, um, it would exist forever out of space and time. No other way. I must reside here.
Oh,
Um, but the
Rand's tethered to the island.
previous owner did know Vaslo and traveled to see Vaslo. Yes.
Oh, the previous owner did. So yeah.
Okay. It's all coming together. Okay.
Thank you, Rand. She'll
Sadie
you'll go back to reading her book. Well, reading.
Yeah.
Xia will turn to Alana and basically say, I have a bag, a letter in a bag I must respond to. Do you happen to have any extra parchment or paper with you?
Do I have any extra parchment? And she'll reach into her bag and be like, "How much do you need?"
And I'm assuming it's like a big stack that you
Oh,
have,
yeah.
right?
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Maybe just like one piece would be good.
She'll give her the parchment.
Thank you.
Do you need a pen? I've got a few.
Oh my gosh,
There's
that
like a bunch of like feathered quills.
it's like you can mind link read my mind without mind linking reading my mind. Thank you. How does one address a legendary king with an enormous sword? Uh,
What kind of letter is it? We're hiring a
it's
private source.
I've inherited the estate of your former friend, uh, colleague. I don't know if he's powerful enough to be on the same level as a solar, or if he would
Who are
still
you
be
writing
considered.
to?
Oh, that Vaslo guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a
Well, I
long
mean, it
way.
might not be him, but I think it is him. Although, I mean, he must be incredibly old by this point. So a while back, Breelith and I had found a bag, and we thought, just normal bag of holding, but then it turned out that it was like a teleporter kind of. And so we said hello and put it in, and then we got a letter back being like, you don't sound like the previous owner, my father. Have you inherited the estate? And then it was signed with a sigil that looked just like a sword covered in vines. And I feel pretty certain that either that is Vaslo or one member of his house, potentially, who may have inherited the sigil.
Mhm.
And I think I should respond to it because we've left them unread for a while. It's been like a month, I think.
Wow, that is such a long time.
Yeah. And I mean, if he's a legendary king with an enormous sword, I mean, you don't want to like leave somebody like that waiting for too long.
ADHD.
Hey, sorry, I was busy.
Yeah.
Well, there was just so
Um,
much to get done, that like had to get done.
Oh,
And I started doing
Jesus.
one task,
Oh, no.
and then that like led me to another task. And then I couldn't
Right.
finish that task because I saw this other task that had to get done.
Right.
And that just spiraled. That's pretty much this whole adventure at this point.
Dan, um, would I have any insight about Basil? I don't.
I mean, yeah, you would have met Vaslo before, and your esteem, right? Your celebrity of your time is anyone prominent with magic in that time was what made you a celebrity, and you were in the top 7 people there, that super elite group that kind of led the world culturally. Everything was built around Arcana at that point. um, you traveled to different continents and other things. You definitely would have met Basil a number of times before. Um, and yeah, they're a warrior king, so they're moderately. Yeah, they have some level of charisma, but not a ton. They think of things very practically versus and tactically. Um, when it comes to dealing with other nations, things like that. So I mean, take that as you want to.
Tell him you're a magnificent warrior.
Okay.
No,
Based on what?
I'm sure he would respect it. I was mostly being facetious.
Oh, okay.
If it is him, um, I mean, I don't know what kind of relationship you would have with your father to where there'd be a conversation bag.
Yeah,
But I don't think he'd be any danger in responding if it is him.
okay. Well, I mean, luckily you have like a lot of parchments. We can get through a few drafts. Uh,
It's so true.
and then wait, did you know him? Like, was he around when you were
Yeah,
before,
I met him a few times.
would you happen to know what his handwriting looks like?
You probably would. You would have got a lot of signed missives and requests, stuff like that.
Just like headshots,
Yeah.
signed, whole portfolio. Yeah.
It's amazing. In
I'm
Discord, here's
sure.
Vaslo. That way.
I'm sure I could. Do you have it with you right now?
The bag?
Just the letter.
No, we got scared and we left it in the room with the bag.
Okay.
We could just head there.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember what I believe it was on basement level 3 is where we were, so it's not too far away.
I don't have any other plans. I'm done reading this.
Great.
Let's go.
To the bag of sharing.
Okay. Yeah, basement level 3. Yep.
Okay, and then
okay.
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Nope.
Go ahead.
I feel like you were about to switch perspectives, which is good.
I was just gonna check and see because I couldn't for the life of me remember where you went, Ashavar, after your room.
Oh, she's still in her room.
Okay.
Snoozing.
Okay. It's been a little while. Do you want to? It's okay if you still want to. If you want to continue to nap while things unfold. But if you have anything you want to do, let me know.
Oh, she was just trying to get a little cat nap before we went to possibly battle mindless, huge creature things.
Nice.
So she'll wake up after like an hour or something.
Okay.
And look at the new addition to her friend group. And well, I don't think anybody can get in here without me, so you should be safe for now. And she'll motion to the new Liaisana lookalike plush, and I would avoid popping over to Breelith's bag right now. If you can understand me, that would probably not be good. Cornelius, you guys keep an eye on each other. Don't eat anybody else. If you have eaten anybody, I'm not sold on that yet. I think you're a good plushie. All right, we're good. Let's go. You know,
Teddy bear makes a sound again.
Man, I really need to start speaking your language.
You can make another intelligence check. You can do it with advantage because it's your second time hearing it and having something ping.
The universe does not want me to understand the teddy bear. 6.
Okay.
Oh wait, I have a Patreon guy.
Yeah, go for it. It's 2d8.
Okay, I'm going to use that now. Funny how I never use my Patreon die on like combat stuff. I want to know what this teddy bear's saying. Come on. Okay, so 6,
Mhm.
18 total.
18. Okay. It takes you a minute, and you got to play it back in your head. Play it back in your head, and as you do, you're like, "Is this backwards?" And you start playing it in your head backwards as best you can. And you realize that because that first line, he said an extra line this time. The first line was a repeat of what it said last time when you were talking about this liaison look like doll. This time, in response to saying like, be safe and this and that, um, as you play it back, you realize the teddy bear said, "Our new friend has joined to play. I won't let them out of my sight."
Well, her eyes gonna get a little bit plate-like, and then she gives Cornelius a little nod and says thank you, and goes off to see about this basement, and tries to think of how she can introduce this new friend to the rest of the crew.
Nice.
That's gonna need to happen eventually.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So you start heading down. Let's see. Sadie, you're still keeping an eye on Rin.
Yes.
Yeah. Rin has started a small stack of books. You would have noticed, Sadie, in case it's anything you want to have anything to do with. But they've started setting a couple books aside. One after another. They've got like 3 books stacked, and they're still pouring through new ones on the shelf. Just to update you.
Um, yeah, no, she'll stay where she's at, just keeping an eye on her generally.
Okay. So back over to Ilana and Zia. You're in the room with the bag of sharing. Again, this room's sort of like a magical repository, but there's nothing in here. It's been like cleaned out, except that bag of sharing hanging on the back wall.
Seems everything that was in here to be shared has been shared.
Hmm.
Uh, except of course, and Enzi will be like, "Oh, there it is," and like pick up the letter, and it basically just says, "Raziel, what is the meaning of this? Or have you all inherited Raziel's will?" And then there's the little sword with vines wrapped around it, and she'll be like, "Is this his handwriting?"
Dan, is
It
it?
is. Yep. Signature, at least. Yeah.
I can't believe he's still alive. Well, I mean, you're alive, so like
Right.
maybe, but he probably didn't fall into the Omega Sea.
I don't think it's all that common of a practice.
Yeah. Practice makes perfect. So
Oh.
how old was he when you were alive? Like give or take? Like
Uh,
Sorry.
how old was
How
that
old?
Flo when he was like when you were contemporaries, Alana? Like
Maybe like a buck 50, 150 or so. They live like 800 years, 1,000 years, not 4,000. So it is a little unusual. They're alive.
I mean, he was relatively young, considering how long they lived for, but they don't live for 4,000 years, so
ah,
definitely an anomaly.
so we have a warrior king who's been alive for 4,000 years.
It's fine.
Interesting. Was he well practiced in magic?
Uh, he's what you would call a rune child. He's chosen among all those that have magic too, by Mistra.
Gotcha.
You
Okay.
would know. So.
I was getting scared that maybe, we have like a lich on our hands or something, but that would be
Mhm.
that would
Can't
be
be
crazy.
silly.
Yeah.
No. Oh,
It'd be ridiculous. I mean, nobody's seen one of those forever.
Oh no. Stephanie's having problems.
She's having flashbacks.
So yeah, we'll just write him a letter. We'll be like, hey, it's Xia and Elena. We're here. That's a horrible way to start.
It's okay, we have plenty of parchment.
Okay. Hello. And in a very intricate comma.
You're gonna write out hello, like that SpongeBob episode.
Yeah, exactly like that. My name is Xia Ambrosia. Raziel was my father. I'm one of his 3, and then in parentheses a question mark, known children. I believe, according to Rinne, the Archfey, that I have inherited the will of this island, and also Lana is here, and she says hi. Hope you're doing well. Sincerely, Zia. This is also really hard because Zia was never formally educated in terms of being able to write. So the writing style looks like maybe a 6 or 7-year-old wrote it.
right.
Nice. Everything's shaky.
Because Zia's like super nervous. This is a 4,000-year-old warrior king who rose a continent out of like the earth. Like, and she'll just like shaking hands to a lot of. What do you think?
I think she did a wonderful job. For fear of offending you, I might just rewrite it.
Oh my god, thank God.
Nope.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can be brutally honest. Like, writing is not my strong suit.
That's, we all have our strengths and weaknesses. She'll rewrite. She'll rewrite the letter and keep the gist.
Okay.
Add in a few more eloquent words. I don't have anything.
The word
I'm not
resplendent.
eloquent, but you know, Moana's got this in the bag.
Nice.
This letter is like an 1800 SAT score, or whatever is good right now.
Nice.
They keep changing the scale.
They do, yeah. You're gonna score things. They're like, what? How did they get that? Oh, they changed it. Okay. This would make sense.
So we put it in together, and we wait.
Okay. All right. You wait for a while, but there doesn't seem to be any immediate response or anything the next, up to. It's probably not going to come today. Like, mechanically, you're probably not going to get a response today. So feel free to wait as long as you'd like tonight.
Zia's just going to fall asleep in the room.
Okay.
She's totally exhausted.
Okay. Nice. Ashavar, you come down. You see no one's at the 4th base. Oh, you've got to go by the 3rd basement first. So you kind of see that the lights are on. And Zia sound asleep, resting on the wall in the corner. Alana, are you still in here for a bit, kind of waiting and checking? It would just be a few minutes after sending it that Ashavar would get there.
I'd still be in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to read this. If Ashavar comes in, I'd probably ask her where Zia's room is, and I'll use my arcane hand to pick her up and carry her into her room. She doesn't see anything.
Okay, yeah. All right, because you've got the full-on. It's like Bigby's hand, basically, and So this big. What color do you want? It's like an ethereal. Which color?
I take that
Um,
spell.
We'll say blue, and my eyes will glow. I use it.
Nice. The magic in your right arm kind of lights up too. One hums. Ashbar, here you arrive as Alana's like scooping up Xia in this giant, arcane hand.
Oh, I did. I do have it. So she'll react a little bit like, oh, I know that hand.
I recognize
But
that hand anywhere.
Wow.
Is it Vasla's?
That's the one that committed the murder.
in the
Not a dad.
in the drawing room with the wrench. But she'll once Alana asks her where Zia's room is, she'll kind of start for a second and answer sort of distractedly. Oh, it's up this way with the rest of the rooms, and she'll lead Alana to
Thank you.
where Zia's
She
room is.
just fell asleep on the floor. I don't know how. It has only been like 2 minutes.
She's been through a lot.
It's been a long day, okay? I don't need this.
Oh, that's amazing.
Nice.
Beautiful. Okay, so you bring
And
her. Oh, sorry, Ashfar.
probably we'll have to grab her hands to put on the door.
Nice. Nice. Activates the door, and you're able to, go rest her on her bed and head out. That leaves. Are you and Ashfar just heading to bed? Is the only other thing going on currently is Rin, studying through the library and Sadie staying up to watch. So far, checking with Sadie.
Ashfar would want to go check on the library and
Okay.
see what's going on. Does Rin want to try this basement excursion tonight, since people seem to be dropping off, or if they want to wait until the morning?
Yeah. And Alana, are you going with Ashavar, or are you heading to bed, or something else?
I'd probably go to the library. Is it late? Like,
Yeah, it's maybe around 11:30 now or so after.
that's not late.
Okay.
I'll go to the library. I only need 4 hours of sleep.
Okay.
Each night, anyways. So.
Okay, so you head up there with Ashavar. Ash and Alana, as you arrive, you see Sadie like looking over a book and then kind of like looking down, with her sleight of hand. And Rin has a stack of maybe like 4 or 5 books off on a shelf near the center. It's just going through, the library itself kind of shuffles what you need, just checking different areas and flipping through the books. But please approach if you like.
Yeah, Ashavar will approach, kind of wrinkle her nose at the books because books are boring. And once Rin is kind of between shuffles, she'll like clear her throat a little bit.
Oh.
Get her attention.
Ashavar, yes, hello. Sorry, swept up in the search.
Oh, I can understand that. Yeah. And she is like kind of darting her eyes around a little bit. Not in a shifty way, but in a like, I don't know what I'm doing sort of way.
Nice. Yes, can I help you? What can I do?
Oh, right. So Zia, we took Zia to her room because she was super tired. I just wanted to check with you to see if you wanted to do your basement thing this evening or tomorrow morning.
They look out at the windows that sort of give a rough illusion. They don't actually look out over Macaw, but they do show the skies. They see it's middle of the night. Tomorrow's fine. Tomorrow's, honestly, I'm looking forward to breakfast. But I feel like I'm headed in the right direction with my research, and I'm eager to continue. I have so many concerns that are much I need to reconnect. To keep Macaw afloat too. I need to be connected and tethered. I am to some degree just by being on the island, but because I'm also responsible for keeping all of the islands afloat now, I do wish to reconnect unless some of them begin to drop out of the sky.
Oh, right. Yeah.
However, there's time for that. I can probably at least up to that month or so, and I can handle it on my own. I'm much more concerned about everything going on with Razio's daughter and his life at the time. I'm just so concerned. There's some things that just aren't adding up, and other things that are pointing in a rather frightful direction. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. Tomorrow would be lovely.
Excellent. Do you need a room? I mean, considering you're, keeping the island alive and stuff.
No. I suppose. I mean, there is a room for me. Could use that, but I don't think I'll be sleeping. Thank you, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I imagine as a archfey, you don't have to.
Yes, I mean, I'm weary, but this is invigorating, and I truly wish to find some answers here. Seem to be in dire times.
Okay. Well, she'll look over to Alana and does Alana have a room yet? Have we taken care of that?
I think so. Yeah, because it looked, yeah. I described how it looked. Say we have.
Okay. So she probably
Oh,
should-
Alana, sorry.
Well, I was gonna ask Sadie too, so good information all around. She'll look over to Alana and then kind of shoot a glance over to Sadie and sort of like, well, I guess we should get some rest while we can. And then looks pointedly at Sadie, who is staring over a book. Is the book right side up?
No.
Nice.
Alana's gonna use
Um,
mage hand and flip the book for her.
It just plucks out of your hand and spins around, and then you notice it's right side up. But you're at the beginning of the book because you've been flipping through the pages anyway.
Sometimes it doesn't matter when there's so many pictures, but thank you, Alana.
Yeah, and she'll start walking to her room, and kind of muttering a little bit because in her head she's trying to imagine saying thank you backwards, and it's causing a little bit of stray mumbling on her way back to her room.
Nice. Okay. So that has Xia asleep, Ashavar heading to sleep. Ilana, are you heading to sleep?
No, I'm gonna go up to Ren.
Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I got to formally introduce myself. Alana never did.
Ilana.
Put her hand out.
Oh, well, pleasure. You seem rather interesting. Accomplished, perhaps, Arcana?
I mean, I don't like to toot my own horn, but yes.
Oh, sorry, it stopped streaming.
Oh.
We didn't stop it, disconnected. It's trying to reconnect, which it should do in a minute. Sorry, I just want to put the pause in it.
Pepperoni.
Yeah.
That's
Weird.
the episode.
Nice.
And that's the end.
What
Thanks,
a
man.
what a cliffhanger.
Nice. My name is Ilana.
Oh,
What?
information we've had for episodes.
Yeah, but we don't know your character's surname. It'd be one of those James Bond kind of moments, right?
Facts. Come on, reconnect. I'll give it a minute or two.
Or
Uh,
50. Keep playing into the night.
Oh, stream, why you gotta be like this? Oh, there we go. All right, we're back. We're back. We're good.
Yay!
So you were saying you were introducing yourself?
Mhm.
I'm just hitting a restart because it stopped streaming. So if you want to introduce yourself again, yeah.
I don't believe I had the chance to formally introduce
Oh,
myself.
wow.
Alana never did.
It is a pleasure. You seem rather weak, gifted perhaps in the way of Arcana.
I like to believe that I am, yes.
Hmm. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I was drawn on considerable Arcana myself, but I've always been fascinated with those that can learn it and master it. Feels like you shape it yourself from the very foundation up, and the structure you've built with your magic is incredible.
Well, thank you. That's very flattering. I I've never met an Archfey before, so I was very excited to hear that you're one. I just yeah.
I'm glad I could be your first.
What are you reading?
Oh, I'm looking for quite a bit of information. There's an island, you see, where it'll kind of cover what you know, what they're looking for, basically.
I hope your research is going well. Um, I just wanted to introduce myself.
I'm glad you did. Did you have good good night if you're heading to bed? Otherwise, I'd love to pick your brain a little more on your magics and such. Sometime if we have the time.
Always.
Lovely.
And then
Mhm.
she's gonna use Arcane Hand again and grab Sadie, bring her to her room.
See if you start getting scooped up in a hand. What do you do? A
Oh,
giant
what?
blue ethereal hand.
Excuse you.
Bedtime.
Is Rin still in the room?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm going to just kind of finish up reading here.
Can't understand that accent.
I know it got weird.
We need
I'm gonna just
Southern.
finish reading. I'm gonna read in here for a bit.
The
I'm
book you
good.
were reading upside down.
Yes, I have more that I can look up upside down as well, Alana. Thank you. Good night.
Certainly accomplished.
Yes. Have a good one.
I'm
Scoops
off
out.
the hand.
Nice, nice. Awesome. All right, so Alana, you head out to bed. Sadie, you're welcome to stay up for the night. You'll take 1 point of exhaustion. As Rinne's going to stay through the night to study. What would you like to do?
Jesus. Um. Yes. Okay. We're staying up.
Okay. All right. All right. Mark, and D&D Beyond 1 point of exhaustion
Will do.
as everyone else goes to sleep. the next 5 hours or so, it's more of, Rinne, the books are piling up, and now Rinne is sort of organizing them into a few stacks, opening them up, and has little bits of creates leaves that kind of act as bookmarks and little magical rings like circling certain parts but not writing on the books, just sort of magically encircled different books, and has their face like in a larger tome standing in front of all the other books, and they slap it shut and like you're dozing but awake, right? That kind of snaps you awake. we need we need Xia. We need Xia. And they turn to head to the elevator. And that's where we're in tonight's session.
No.
Uh,
Goodness.
it's the subtle cliffhanger.
Na 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 na.
Dun, dun, dun.
I can words.
What's on the horizon?
Wow, Dan, you must have done a lot of prep for this session.
So it's funny. There's a lot of prep that I just have set, like with story bits. And tonight I have a whole battle map here because I was like, probably most of the thing is going to be battle. But it's the way it unfolds, and it was kind of neat because like Xia, just in prep, we'll talk about it in the after show because it's juicy stuff.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You gotta subscribe to that Patreon.
Get it. That's right. Viewers, thank you all for joining. Thank you so much for the raid earlier, Ellie. And thank you for the sub from and thank you for the cheer, Lord Byron. Yay. Love having you all here. Thank you, viewers, for hanging out with us and making this so fun. You've been watching our Saturday night Sky Pirate campaign and Extremis, episode 81.
Yeah.
Right along here. Oh my goodness. As you can tell, there's like a lot of material to draw on that brings, you know what I mean? Like we're really in the meat of it now. I did do a fair amount of prep, but we'll talk about that in the Patreon too, because there's other things that might be coming up juicy. If you're new here, I hope you had fun. Please consider giving us a follow if you did. We have a lot of content across the week, and this way you can be alerted to it live. But at the very least, we hope you'll come back next Saturday and see what's going to happen next week. What's going on? What's Xia the key to? Oh my gosh, we got to get Xia. We need Xia. Anyway, so I don't have anyone to raid to tonight, so we'll just wrap up here. And gosh, thank you so much. Players, as always, so amazing. Thank you. Yay!
Thank you, Dan.
Oh gosh, it's my pleasure. That's so fun. Yeah, and viewers, thank you too. Thank you so much for hanging out. Take care. I hope everyone has a lovely night. We'll catch you soon. All right. Bye.
Bye.